Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Here at the Speakeasy today, we are going to celebrate National Cognac Day. So, going to delve into a little bit of the history about cognac and is there a difference between cognac and brandy and Armagnac? Yes, there is, and that's why they're called different names. So brandy is any distilled spirit that is made from a fruit. So if it's pear, apple, grapes, etc., distilled into a spirit, then that is a brandy. Brandy can be made anywhere in the world. And the difference between that and cognac is kind of the difference between sparkling wine and champagne. Champagne has to be made in Champagne, France, but sparkling wine is also a champagne. It's just not made in Champagne. So brandy and cognac the same way. Brandy can be made anywhere in the world. Cognac has to be made in the Cognac region of France. Now, it also has a difference in it is only made from grapes, from a specific or a few specific varietals of grape that has to be grown under specific conditions. They call it terroir, I think. But those are the conditions specified by the Cognac Committee, whatever it's called, that specifies that it has to be made by that and that it can only be made in that Cognac region of France. Well, what about Armagnac, you say? Well, Armagnac is actually older than brandy and older than cognac, but it's the same thing as cognac in that it has to be made in a certain area, the Armagnac region of France, and it has to be a different varietal of grapes than that which cognac is made from. Okay, all that being said, there are also breakdowns in the different varieties of cognac, which I will read to you here because I don't know what they all are. So these are age requirements, and these age requirements pertain to the youngest cognac in the blend, not the oldest. So almost, I believe, all cognacs are a blend, just like blended whiskeys are a blend of different whiskeys to get a specific flavor. They blend the cognac so they get a specific flavor. So VS, or very special, must be aged at least 2 years. VSOP, or very superior old pale, must be aged at least 4 years. And XO, or extra old, must be aged at least 10 years. Previously used to be 6 years for XO, but now they use the term Napoleon for those cognacs aged between 6 and 10 years. Now, there are two additional classifications. XXO for extra, extra old. Those are cognacs that are 14 years and older. And then, I'm going to butcher this one, Ordiage, whatever it is, used colloquially to cover ultra high quality cognacs that fall outside the age scale altogether. Okay, and as a rule of thumb, reserve the older cognacs for sipping and the younger cognacs for mixing. So that's what we've got today. I've got what they say is the most popular brand of cognac. This is Ansac, however you pronounce it. And this is the VS. So this is very special. So that means this is at least 2 years old. So, and this is a product of France. This is actual cognac. Again, not a brandy. This is a cognac. Doesn't say 40%. So this is 80 proof, 40%. Now I have made one of these type cocktails before called a Vieux Carré. I'll post a link to that video here so you can go out and see that one. I won't waste my time making that cocktail all over again, but I'm going to start today with one called the Ampersand Cocktail. Now this is a cocktail that is first published in Albert Stevens Crockett's 1934 Old Waldorf Bar Days. That's a pretty old cocktail, but it's pretty simple. Basically, you have your cognac, you have gin. Now this just calls out Hayman's Old Tom Gin. I don't have Hayman's Old Tom Gin. I've got several different gins, and it does not say dry gin, so I'm going to go with Garden Society gin today and not the London Dry I have in the back. Also calls out for sweet vermouth, an orange curacao liqueur, which I got several different liqueurs. I don't have an orange curacao, but I do have Grand Marnier. Now, Grand Marnier is a blend of orange liqueur and cognac. So it ought to go perfect with this since we have cognac. Now, you could also use, let's see what else I have down here. I have Triple Sec, and then I also have some Cointreau. Those are all orange flavored liqueurs that I believe would work just fine. And then to top it off, some orange bitters. So all right, let's get started on this first one. We're going to take our mixing glass here, and then we are going to fill our mixing glass with ice. And we're going to start off with 1 fluid ounce of gin. Like I said, we're using Garden Society gin from Guthrie, Oklahoma, Wonderfolk Spirits. So 1 ounce of gin. Then we're going with 1 ounce of cognac. Then we're going to have 1 ounce of sweet vermouth. Make sure I have the sweet and not the dry. And that's quite a bit of vermouth, 1 ounce. And then 1/6, that's a pretty small amount, 1/6 of an ounce of orange liqueur. I don't know how you get 1/6 of an ounce, so I'm just going to do a little bit of a, dang, do I have anything in there? There we go. That ought to be 1/6 of an ounce. Now we're going to stir that down. Let that get nice and chilled. Then we're going to strain that into our coupe glass here. Find my strainer. Now they say these should be a chilled coupe glass. Well, I only have one, so that's what we're going to use, is a dry coupe glass. Now that is the perfect amount for this coupe glass, a little over 3 ounces. And there you have your Ampersand cocktail. Now they say that the Ampersand name came from the original place where it was made. It's a proprietary cocktail of the famous bar at the old Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York City. And the original vermouth made in it was Martini and Rossi. Ta-da! And it has the ampersand in the label. So they say that's where the name came from. So there's your Ampersand cocktail. We've got 1 ounce of gin, 1 ounce of cognac, 1 ounce of sweet vermouth, 1/6 of an ounce. Oh, hey, I forgot the orange bitters. All right. And then you're going to have 1 dash of orange bitters. Now, it doesn't say that you should stir this up. It doesn't say that you put that dash in the mixing glass and then pour it in here. You just add that to the top. So I guess they want you to have a nice, strong orange hit when you taste it. Again, not bad. All right, that's number 1. Let's move on to cocktail number 2. All right, cocktail number 2. All 3 of these cocktails have almost the same ingredients. There's just 1 or 2 differences in each one of them that makes them really simple if you want to buy the ingredients and test them yourselves, you don't have to buy a ton, but they're all very similar. So this one's going to be a burnt fuselage. Now this one has the cognac, got it, Grand Marnier, got it, and dry vermouth instead of the sweet vermouth, and no bitters. So how are we going to do this? Take our mixing glass, put some ice in it. We're going to have, I lost my, there it is. So 1 ounce of brandy. Going to have 1 ounce of the Grand Marnier. Not quite empty, but it's getting there. And now we're going to have 1 ounce of dry vermouth. And dry vermouth can get really dry, but maybe with the sweetness of the other two, it'll work out. I'm not sure what to expect of this one. All right, now we're going to stir this down. Get it nice and chilled. Stir the ice right out of the glass. And then we're going to strain this into our coupe glass. You can tell a huge difference there in the color. Obviously, the other one had the sweet vermouth, so it was nice and red. This one has the dry vermouth, so it's not that color. So there is your burnt fuselage. Wow. It's funny. It does taste a little burnt to me. Maybe it's that dryness out of the dry vermouth. But you can taste the sweetness of the brandy and the Grand Marnier as well. So I might like that one a little better than the previous one, the Ampersand cocktail, just because it doesn't have the orange bitters, and it may taste slightly better to me. Very close, but then totally different. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right. 2 down, 1 to go. What's next? Let's get to the third cocktail. All right, cocktail number 3. This one is going to be called Celebration. Cause for celebration. So we're going to start this out again with our mixing glass. We're going to put ice in it so that we can chill our mix. We're going to have 1 ounce of our brandy. We're going to have 1 ounce of sweet vermouth. Back to the sweet this time. Let you folks know, this is sweet vermouth is a popular cocktail additive. So if you don't have it and you're interested in making cocktails, be sure to get you some of this. You can see how much of that I've used already. Very popular, makes things a lot better. And then we're going to have, in this case, 1 ounce of Campari. Now, this is a bitter liqueur. So really not sure how this is going to turn out, because we're also going to have some bitters to splash into this. I think this is going to look very similar to the first one we tried, the Ampersand. All right, so now we're going to have that. We mix this up. Get that nice and chilled. Now we're going to use our coupe glass. Strain this in there. If you want to, you can rewind and check this against the Ampersand Cocktail, see what the color difference is there, because the Campari and the sweet vermouth are kind of the same. And then here we go again with orange bitters, 2 dashes this time. Now, on all of these, it says put an orange, garnish it with orange, an orange peeling, orange zest, I think they call it, the twist. Now, I haven't done that just because it's, it looks great. And if you want to impress your friends, you can do that. Just get you a knife, cut you a slice of the orange peel off of here, and put it on there. But this is just as easy, and we're at home making things the easy way. So here we go with Celebration. I can definitely taste the Campari in that one. To me, that one is way too bitter. Campari is an extremely bitter liqueur. I think for me, the smart way to do it would be increase the brandy and decrease the amount of Campari, just because when you add the bitters on top of the Campari, it's going to be way too much. But I like the orange bitters simply because it adds a little orange flavor. And to me, the orange bitters is not as bitter as Campari. Campari is a very bitter liqueur. And you can tell this is, I bought the smallest bottle of this Campari I could, and I've only used that much of it, probably 2 or 3 ounces out of it, making different liqueurs. So it's not that popular in my world. But hey, it's National Cognac Day here, so there's 3 cocktails. I hope you enjoyed each one of those. Again, we had the Ampersand, we had the burnt Fuselage, and we had the Celebration, all made with cognac. I would not go out and, again, get the high dollar cognac to make cocktails with. It's just not worth it. Cognac on its own is pretty good, but it's just like anything else. Don't get the top shelf stuff to mix, and always use the bottom shelf stuff for cocktails and mixes. Anything that you're going to try to change the flavor of that main ingredient, you might as well use the cheap stuff, because sometimes the cheap stuff gives you the flavor of the high dollar stuff, the basis of the flavor. It just doesn't cost near as much, obviously. So, hey, thanks for sticking around. Hope you guys enjoyed these 3 cocktails for National Cognac Day. Please be sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends and family. If you're interested in any of my merchandise, please go out to SCALPER'S.com. Check it out. Check out all the other information I have on my website as well. It's not just drinks and videos. Try to give you a little more educational stuff. Thanks, and we'll see you the next time here at the Speakeasy.